Oddly enough, one of the recurring complaints about the Rebel 1100 is how small and slippery the foot pegs are. Today we're solving that with a super easy install of the Burly brand MX style foot pegs for the rider and passenger. Let's get this stock piece of crap out of the way. Oh, that just hit my phone, that sucks.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Life of Birch. I'm Birch, and I'm super excited to get these foot pegs put on because they should offer a lot more grip and a lot more surface area than the stock pegs. Now, before we get started, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if this is your first time finding the channel. You're obviously interested in the Rebel 1100, and I got tons of content with mine. So today we're installing the MX style foot pegs from Burly brands, but it's worth noting that this install process should be the exact same for all of their foot pegs. I'm just a big fan of the MX style foot pegs, so those are the ones that I went with. Now let's just jump straight into it, and we'll start out by taking a look at the foot pegs, checking out the quality, and seeing what features they have. So here we have the passenger foot pegs and the rider foot pegs. You can tell the difference because obviously the rider foot pegs are much bigger. Aside from that, they look identical and they feature the exact same features. Now let's pop these bad boys open and take a look at them. All right, so the packaging is super nice and secure. Pop the passenger one out. And right off the bat, you can tell it is much bigger than the passenger foot peg that comes from the factory. Gonna offer a lot more surface area. Has the big spikes for nice grip, but they're not like super pointy, so they're not gonna cut you or whatever. And then you can take a look and it's super high quality construction, really nice finish on there, looks super durable. One of the features that I like the most is the fact that it has the adjustability right there. So all you gotta do is use an Allen key and you can adjust kind of the angle of it. So it looks like when we first put it on, it's not gonna be the right angle. We'll just use an Allen key there and rotate it so that it's sitting nice and flat for her. And then another key feature that I love about this is that all of them have a bottle opener on there. Really wish I had some beer right now because that's like perfect. You install them and then as soon as you're done with the stress of the install, you just pop a cold one open and you're good to go. But I really love that feature. If you take the bike camping or something like that, you don't have to bring a bottle opener with you. You just pop it open right on the foot peg. Because who doesn't like to ride and party, you know? Not together, okay? Don't drink and ride. I'm talking about after you ride. So the passenger peg's looking really good. Construction's awesome. It's nice and heavy, super heavy duty construction, looking good. And then we'll check out the rider foot peg. Once again, right off the bat, you can just tell that the surface area is a lot more than the stock foot peg. It's like 2.5 times as wide, a lot more surface area for your foot, so you're gonna get a lot of grip from that. And then once again, it does have the adjuster right there, so you can adjust the angle. Just looking at the way that it comes, we'll definitely have to adjust it because it's like sticking that way and it needs to be flat. But that's the really nice thing about these is that they're fully adjustable. And one of the first things that came to mind is the people that I've seen on the forums who got the forward control kit that extends the foot pegs further forward. From what I've seen, it also brings the brake pedal up, and people have said that their foot peg is then not angled in the right direction. So with these, it's really nice that you can adjust it to be exactly how you want it for comfort and grip. Same exact heavy duty construction on these guys. And then once again, it has the bottle opener, so you're super duper ready to party. 4 people can just be cracking beers open at the same time, and I'm super stoked on it. Let's go ahead and throw these bad boys on. Shouldn't take more than like 5-10 minutes. All right, so all we should need for installation is a 5mm Allen key and some pliers. We'll start with the front and I'll show you how to do it. First things first, we're obviously gonna wanna get the stock foot peg off. To do that, you just need a 5mm Allen key here and here to pop off this little guard so you have room to slide this pin out. Then you're gonna come underneath and it has this cotter pin right here. You're just gonna have to bend both of those so that they're flat and this cotter pin will pull out. Once that's out of the way, you remove this washer, slide this pin out, and the foot peg will come right off. And actually, while we're at this angle, I figured it'd be a good angle to show you just the size difference of it. It's obviously way, way bigger and a lot more surface area than the stock one, so I am super excited to see how grippy it is. Once the cotter pin's nice and flat, we're gonna grab the cotter pin and pull it out. Oh my God, I literally just fell back. All right, so the cotter pin is out, washer fell off. Then we're just gonna pop this pin out and it all comes out. All right, now just holding both of these in my hands, you can tell that the new one is obviously way, way higher quality. You can just feel how heavy duty it is. The stock one, honestly, now that I'm holding it next to this one, just feels like plastic or something. Like it's nowhere near as heavy and just burly as this. See what I did there? Burly brands. Didn't even mean to do that. So let's get this stock piece of crap out of the way. Oh, that just hit my phone, that sucks. And then we'll get this one put back on. So all you're gonna do is take the spring and put that right in there, the exact way that it is stock. So the one that's more hooked, you'll have on the top of it, and then the one that isn't quite as hooked slides right into that little spot right there. So you have the spring there, you're gonna slide it in place, put this pin through, put the washer on the bottom, put the cotter pin back through, and then fold the cotter pin over so it can't come out. Now once that pin's through, before you put the washer and the cotter pin on, it's probably a good idea to make sure everything functions as it's supposed to. It's going up and down just fine, so we're good to go. Washer, cotter pin. So now that it's on and we know that it's working properly, got the cotter pin secured and all that, all we gotta do is adjust the angle to where we like it. I did lie about only needing a 5mm and pliers because we do need a 6mm for this. But the 6mm just goes in here, loosen that up. It'll pop out a little bit, turn it into place. Right about there looks good. And then we'll tighten it down and we're good to go. Now, obviously, once I ride it, I might adjust the position a little bit, but it has plenty of different levels of adjustment. They do recommend that if you're adjusting it, you do it to 25 foot-pounds of torque and use some Loctite, but I'm feeling risky because it's brand new and I'm just adjusted it, so we should be good there. Actually, you know what? Before we go to the passenger one, I kind of want to do like a quick little foot test, see what it's like. Holy crap, dude. That is super grippy, gripping right into the van's waffle soles. Feels like it sits my foot out a little bit further, which is nice. And I don't know, it's just really nice. I feel like with the stock pegs, my foot was always up like this, and this lets me just kind of relax. Stoked on that, feels like the perfect position. And now let's do the passenger. What was I thinking? We got to get this little cover put back on. Okay, now we're good for the passenger side. All right, now before we do the passenger side, I figured this angle again was good to show kind of the difference. You can see it has like literally 2 to 2.5 times the surface area of the stock one. Sits out a little bit further, has a lot more surface area, and you can just tell it's gonna have a lot more grip. The passenger peg does at least have these like spike things, unlike the front one from the factory, but it's obviously nowhere near the grip of like kind of the dirt bike style of this one. So first things first, once again, we just gotta get this one taken off. It's gonna be the same deal. You got the cotter pin here, bend the cotter pin flat, push it out or pull it out, whatever works for you. Then you're gonna slide this pin out and take the foot peg off. The only thing to be cautious of with this one is that it has this little plate here, and that's holding in a ball and spring, which is what helps it lock into place. So make sure that the spring and the ball don't shoot out and roll away. All right, I'm actually gonna take my watch off because this is stressing me out doing this that close to the exhaust. It's also worth noting that if it makes you sketched out doing it near your exhaust, there is a bolt on the back where you can take this whole thing off and do it away from the exhaust. Got that nice and flat, then we'll turn it around and pull it out. I'm gonna hold the washer in place so that it doesn't hit the exhaust. Oh, I didn't fall back that time, but I smacked the camera. Cotter pin and washer are out. We're gonna slide that up and out. And then as we pull that out, we're gonna hold that plate in so that the spring and ball don't go shooting away. So with that out, you can see that there is the ball in there and then the plate. Get that out of the way. And then the spring is in there. It's packed with grease, so we'll probably have to use the pliers to pull that out. Maybe not. There's the spring. And then once again, hold them next to each other. You can just tell this one is just so much burlier. Yes, I made that joke once again. You can just tell it's made to withstand so much more. This one literally feels like plastic next to this one. I mean, just look at it. It's incredible. Gonna yeet this off to the side. Did not hit my phone, so that's good. And then we're gonna get this installed. So what we're gonna do with this is slide the spring right in there, sit the ball on top of the spring, sandwich that plate on top of it, and then slide it in. So we got the spring, slide it right in there with the greased side facing up, take the little ball bearing and stick that right on top. Not with leaves stuck to it. Line up that ball bearing with this hole right here, sandwich it together, and then you're gonna kind of angle it like that so that it slides in easier. Squeeze it and slide that in, making sure that that little tab lines up in the hole right there. Make sure that everything lines up and slip that pin right back in there and then give it a test. You can hear it click into place and click back down into place, so we're good to go. Now with this one, I can already tell from the angle of it, it's gonna be hard to get the cotter pin in unless we adjust this. So I'm gonna adjust this flat and then we'll put the cotter pin back in to lock it in place. Get that to where it looks nice and flat and then tighten it down. Check the clearance and we're good to go. Only thing I will note with these so far is that when it's in this position where it looks totally flat for the passenger, as it comes up, it does hit the bracket a little bit because it's so wide, but it's not anything too bad and I'm sure it won't mess it up or anything like that. So we'll click that up out of the way and then we'll put the washer right there and the cotter pin through it, bend it back into place and we're good. All right, cotter pin's bent back into place. Everything still works as it should, so we are good to go on both of these. So side one is done and it is looking incredible. It looks so mean and aggressive and you can just tell you're gonna have so much more surface area for your feet to grip onto. I could not be happier with these. It looks so good. The quality is just incredible. Honestly, I'm freaking blown away. Now all that's left to do is come over to the left side and get this done. But since we already saw how to do it, we're just gonna do it real quick in 3, 2, 1. And boom, just like that, they are done and looking just as good as the other side. It's almost like magic. Just like that, a few minutes later, you got your foot pegs installed, you're looking good, you're feeling good, you're stoked. I am seriously impressed by the quality of these, how easy they were to put on. I mean, if I wasn't filming, it literally would have just taken a couple minutes. Anyone can do it. I love the adjustability of them. Like I said, it really helps for forward controls also because it allows you to kind of adjust the angle to however you want it. And of course, you can't go wrong with a bottle opener on each of them because when it's party time, it's party time. That was cheesy, but whatever. Now, it is worth pointing out that they sell the rider pegs and the passenger pegs separately, so if you don't have passenger pegs and you don't have any plans on putting them on, you're not paying twice the money or whatever. You can just get the front one, so that's really nice. And if you are planning on getting some for yourself, make sure to use the code BB_Rebel15, and that'll get you 15% off your entire Burly brand order now through January 1st, 2022. All right, so you ordered your foot pegs, you got your 15% off, you did the super easy install, you're stoked, you're loving it. What's left to do? All that's left to do is take a picture of your bike with your Burly brand parts on it, send that picture to info@burlybrand.com, and they'll send you a free Burly brand t-shirt. I mean, really, does it get any better? All right, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Needless to say, I am beyond stoked on these parts. Make sure to grab them for yourself. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that other usual stuff that I always say. Check out the Patreon page if you want to support the channel in a bigger and better way, and we'll catch you on the next one. Love you guys. Peace.